Aloha guys, welcome as the doorman here, opening the doorway for the EBL Season 6. I know that Josh, the Lonely Hermit, was always doing the roundups and everything, but he's no longer in the EBL. Just some things have happened, and he's just got some other things he just wants to work on and stuff like that. So he has left the EBL, and I will hopefully take his spot in the roundups. And I will also be doing the rankings, which will be in the next roundups, not this one. But I just hope I can do a good job for it and follow in his footsteps. Joining me with today is Polka Pidge, and he's going to be doing the predictions for this season. And now, you may be asking, what is EBL? It is the Elite Battle League. It is a competition of single battles, no held items. We each have 9 Pokemon. 2 of them are restricted, so the way we have it is we have like legendaries, mythicals, pseudos, stuff like that. We can pick 2 of them. And then we head each other to a head-on competition between everybody here and aim to win. We always try to have fun here no matter what, and we do have a couple rules here and there, but other than that, like I said, main goal here is to have fun with everybody.
Exactly.
Exactly. Pretty much the rules, what EBL is about, so we're going to go into the week 1 here, because this is a preseason roundup, there's nothing really to talk about, but we are going to talk about the teams, and then also Polka Pidge is going to be explaining his predictions, and maybe also inputting anything he has on the teams as well. I am also doing the rankings from now on, instead of Lionheart plays and stuff like that, so the roundups and rankings will be one, and then the predictions will be another video and stuff like that. This is all preseason stuff, so we can get everybody comfortable with new faces and everything. And with that, I'm going to open up with week 1. The first battle we have is the Essex Espions versus the Detroit Luxrays. The Essex Espions, that is Polka Pidge. We have Mew, Zamazenta, Volcarona, Mimikyu, Escadrille, Barraskewda, Mudsdale, Toxicity, if I can learn to speak, and Ditto versus the Detroit Luxrays, which has Whimsicott, Comfey, Groudon, Urshifu Single Strike, Galarian Slowking, Charizard, Mandibuzz, Malamar, and Cradilly. Now, I do know that Polka Pidge has had experience with Mew and Zamazenta and some of the Pokemon, and so I think that'll be a really interesting battle with him having back some of the old Mons. While with the Detroit Luxrays, they've been in this league for every single season. They've drafted some really good Pokemon, really good support Pokemon. He stole my fairies. I think this battle is going to be really, really cool here and stuff like that. What do you think?
I think so too. Carry on. No. Yeah, I haven't particularly done too much prepping for this particular face-off between me and Max. However, I do think his team is quite scary. Especially that Whimsicott, because we've seen how Humberto can use it before. Mm-hmm. So it just basically dies, but does a lot before it can die. It tanks D-Max move. All you need to do is just send it out, and it can, pranks to substitute any D-Max. Comfy as well, obviously, with the triage. It's something I use in Season 3. It's part of my Season 3 winning team, actually. Malamar's Contrary, if you can get that going, it'd be terrifying. So yeah, it's gonna be scary. I reckon I'm not going to go into too many details about this specific match. I will in others, but this one, not specifically. But yeah, if I can actually KO a Groudon after last season with Mike the Quick, with a crit Earthquake and the burn on my Mon, I need some vengeance on Groudon. So yeah, it's in terms of Max's team as a whole, I think it's very well balanced. Mm-hmm. I'm quite looking forward to seeing how he utilises Mandibuzz and Galarian Slowking for a start. And the Cradilly, for me, is a very interesting pick. Very interesting.
I actually have that on my little list for potential Pokemon to pick there. So I'm interested to see how he uses it as well.
Okay then, yeah. I'm interested to see what he does with it. Mm-hmm. And my team are great.
Do you have a prediction?
A prediction. I don't know. I'm trying to look to see about the facing up of it. I think there's a few on my team that may cause some trouble to his, more than the other way round. There may be ways for me to get around the pranks to Whimsicott, the triage Comfy, and even the restricted pick of the Urshifu.
Yeah.
And the Groudon's going to be a problem with the drought for me personally. My prediction for that, do you know what? I'm going to back myself. I'm going to back myself and say me. But I do think it's going to be a close one, and it genuinely could go either way, that one.
Okay. I see what you're saying here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go
But
on
I'm back
to the other. I was about to say other week. It's not the other week. Other contestant. I learned to speak. Everything will go well. We're going to go up to the next pairing here. We have the New York Mutangs versus the Texas Tyrannotars, which is me. It's a rematch over here from the last season. And with the New York Mutangs, they have Zacian, Togekiss, Gastrodon, Grimmsnarl, Galarian Darmanitan, Galvantula, Gyarados, Chandelier, and Dialga. While the Texas Tyranitar has Eternatus, Galarian Zapdos, Quagsire, Rotom Heat, Zoroark, Toxapex, Sharpedo, Clefable, and Diggersby. Now, I know with the New York Mutangs, he has 3 of my old team members from last season, and he has still some more of his old members from other last seasons as well. So he still has the Togekiss, Gastrodon, Grimmsnarl. He took the Darmanitan, the Galvantula. No, I had the Grimmsnarl. He took that. And then he has the Dialga still again. So his team is already very terrifying.
Yes.
Well, as one of those, I have my picks. I feel like I could do some sneaky stuff here with like maybe some Zoroark, some Rotom Heat, maybe some different stuff. I mean, Eternatus may not be at a Dynamax, but I could do damage against Dynamaxmon. So, both teams have got different things that they could do and stuff like that. And it's just one of those, how are they going, how are each of us going to do the things is how this battle's going to go. But I believe this battle is going to be really amazing, just personally for me, because I think it's going to be amazing. But I think it's going to be really good, too.
Yeah. No, it's certainly going to be a close one, I do think, because obviously Max's last season got 4-1, but that one loss was against yourself.
Yeah.
So whether that's going to get into his head at all, I'm not 100% sure. From my point of view, like prediction-wise, if you can utilise the Zoroark pretty well, then he'll always be thinking, is this Zoroark? Is this Zoroark? So that will be tough to try and utilise if you can, but if you can, it will pay off very well.
Yes.
The Eternatus, I believe, I used in Season 3. Season 3. That was one of my championship-winning Mons. And the special attack on that Eternatus is huge.
Yes.
So I can certainly see him bring in like a Togekiss and the Gastrodon, even the Grimmsnarl, to be fair. I can see them coming. The Dialga may well come to overthrow the Eternatus.
Maybe, yeah, definitely. It can.
So, it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. And of course, I do think the Zacian's coming. I think that'll go every week, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Do you need me to give a score on or a prediction on what you think it'll end up as?
You don't have to do a score, but it's one of those, like, you do have to, I was giving you a chance for prediction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you're new to this, so bear with us.
Indeed. The first 2 matches are matches involving us as well, which is quite tough.
I know, yeah.
This is a tough one, genuinely. Because the Zacian alone is terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it could possibly KO that Galarian Zapdos with a Play Rough, or at least it's going to cause it problems. This is... Oh dear, I really don't know. I really don't know. Do you know what? I'm not going to call one on this. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. So we have one decided and one undecided. All right.
Yeah. Why don't I pass the prediction over to you, as is your battle? What do you think?
I'm going to back myself on this one here. Because it's one of those, I got to back myself here, because if I don't, then it's one of those, nah. But it's one of those, I feel like it's going to be a very close match, and I feel like, again, RNG was the decider for the last one. I think RNG may be the decider for this one as well. It's one of those, I'm going to back myself up, but RNG is going to be a major decider in this fight.
Yeah, I would say so.
On to the next pairing. We have the Carolina Garchomps versus the San Antonio Espers. San Antonio Espers was last year's finalist from the championship, and then Carolina Garchomps is over here. Is not a rookie anymore. He's had some experience and stuff with this, so we're going to be excited to see what he could do here. But the Carolina Garchomps, it is Rayquaza, Marshadow, Shuckle, the Rotom Mow, Altaria, Lantern, Talonflame, Armaldo, and Milotic. Versus San Antonio Espers with Zygarde, Blaziken, Rillaboom, Gothitelle, Rotom Wash, Aegislash, Aerodactyl, Weavile, and Magearna. Now, I know with Carolina Garchomps, it's one of those, I've used Rayquaza before. If you can use it well, it's really good. He's got the Shuckle there, perfect for like defensive as stuff and stuff like that. A couple of mixed Pokemon like the Armaldo and the Lantern. And we've kind of know Terry a little bit to a degree. We know they're there, but it's kind of one of those, maybe he found something that could be really good for certain strats and stuff like that. Then, of course, the Marshadow with Technician is just going to be amazing. Versus, like, San Antonio Esper, Sly Guy, Zygarde, Blaziken, Rillaboom. Just those three off the bat is, like, that's a lot of speed control. So, between Blaziken, Rillaboom, and Weavile, there's a lot of speed control there. And then, he's got the Magearna, which has Soulheart, Aerodactyl, Rotom Wash. The Gothitelle is the only one I'm not necessarily trying to figure out, but the one I'm interested in the most to see what he does with that. So I think this battle is going to be really good, considering that Carolina now has more experience, and it's basically a rematch from last season as well. So we get to see how he handles Sly Guy again this time, and with Sly Guy, hopefully we get to see what that Gothitelle can do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's going to be an exceptionally close one to get. I think all of these are now. I don't think there's going to be any easy games in this season's EBL.
Yeah.
Just putting that down now. Obviously, Sly Guy going back for Zygarde again. He knows what he's doing with it. He wouldn't draft it for a second season if he didn't have plans for it or didn't have something in mind.
Yeah.
And of course, the Blaziken, Speed Boost, the Rillaboom with Grassy Surge, obviously. Rotom Wash has proved itself useful on many an occasion.
Oh, yeah.
And even the Weavile, even though it's a glass cannon, if he can get a few hits off on it before it goes down, then that's 2 or 3 hits that you can use for it. And then you go over to the Carolina Garchomp's team, which I think is definitely stronger than last season's team.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. The Shuckle in there can cause problems, for a start. Pretty sure it's got Sticky Web and Stealth Rock.
And it's got a bunch of like entry hazards. I'm not gonna lie, it's got a bunch of entry hazards. Yeah, and it's just so defensively. Like it's got no HP, nothing else, but maxed out. I think defenses on both. Honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to take a lot to take it down, and that thing can cause you long-term issues, even if you do finally get it down.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Talonflame and the Milotic, I think, are going to be slept on by a few people, but they shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
Rotom Mo is a mon we haven't seen very much of in EBL, and I don't know why. It's still good. It still holds up, as much as the others do.
Yeah.
And of course, Marshadow. Yeah, just Marshadow. Its signature move can cause problems for anyone that's trying to hold back and try and be a bit more defensive.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Because they can just yoink all those stats and just take it for himself.
Indeed. In terms of my prediction on this one, though, I think... Looking at the two teams, because obviously all we've got to go on at the moment basically is teams.
Yeah.
I think San Antonio Esper's team just edges it for the potential, detect speed boosting Blaziken, the experience Sly Guy's got with Zygarde.
Yes.
The Grassy Surge from the Rillaboom, the Rotom Wash can do so many different things. I mean, he may not bring all those. I haven't even mentioned the Magearna, which I think someone's used before.
Bob is season 3.
Ah, yes, Bob, season 3. I remember it well. Yeah, so I think Sly Guy's team just edges it on this occasion.
Yeah.
But I do think Nuti's going to have a much better season than he did last season. He's got a very good team there. So, yeah, definitely.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to go to the schedule here because I have some mixed up stuff here.
No, you go for it.
Not bad. All right, so then we have the next opponent, which is going to be... I did have them mixed up. Okay, it's going to be the DC Starmies versus the Walton Wingulls. I'm going to have to go to their team because I didn't write that down correctly. I'm mistaken that. That is my bad. We're new to this. If you do not know. Let me see here. We're DC Starmies. Here they are. Okay, so we have the DC Starmies. They have Solgaleo, Palkia, Sylveon, Electivire, Mamoswine, Venusaur, Incineroar, Archeops, and Porygon Z versus the Walton Wingulls, which has Mewtwo, Lucario, Galarian Articuno, Dubwool, Alolan Raichu, Klefki, Galarian Rapidash, Crobat, and Nidoking. Now, honestly, Nate's team is probably the best that has been here in the last few seasons. It's one of those, he's just been getting better and better with his teams over and over again. While I know with Timmy over here, he drafted a really solid team. It's one of those, you have the Solgaleo we saw with Lionheart Place, Humberto, and stuff like that. Palkia is even a good one. He's done stuff with the Mamoswine and the Venusaur from last season. He picked up the Archeops. This is one of those, I feel like Timmy's team, if anything... There's nothing weak about it. It's one of those, like, there's not, like, anything that could be maybe exploited to a degree. I may be wrong on this, but he has, like, one of the most solid teams out of everything. Out of everybody, it's one of those, we know exactly what these Pokemon can do to a degree. It's super solid. So it's one of those, like, everybody has kind of like a few high points here and there. His team is just, the whole foundation is solid. And so I think that's going to be difficult to try to get over versus like with Nate, sorry. He's got a better team this time, but there are a few things that can happen. But still then, if Nate can figure out how to do his team really well, I believe it's going to work really well for him as well.
Definitely, yeah. I think both these teams have got the best teams they've ever drafted. Full stop. Both of them. Obviously, Timmy's team there, I think, is probably one of the more stronger teams in the league.
Yeah.
Kind of wishing I could change my preseason interview question answers.
I know.
Yeah. But definitely so. And then I'm looking at Nate's team as well. Obviously, having a Mewtwo, just for a start, fantastic.
Yes.
The Galarian Articuno, I know he's got a few tricks up his sleeve for that one. The double is something I used in Season 4, and it surprised everyone, pretty much. Especially with the Fluffy ability.
Yeah, I remember that, because I tried to overheat it, and it missed.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Fluffy mixed with... obviously, Cotton Guard, and then also Body Press is just insane. It's really good. I know it gives you a fire type weakness, but hey, do you know what? It's worth it for the defense.
I mean, if you know they got none of a fire, you're good.
Exactly, yeah. And then he's got Alolan Raichu, which I used in Season 3. That's a fantastic mon, very quick, very good. It's got the added type coverage of the Psychic over the original Raichu.
Yeah.
Klefki with Prankster can cause problems. Crobat's speed and potential poisonous ways can, really, really set people back. And then, obviously, Timmy's team, Solgaleo, is what I used last season. And it was probably... I know it's a restricted
it was you.
pick,
I'm so sorry. I thought it was Humby that used the Solgaleo.
Oh, no,
it was you.
Me! It was me, yeah. I know it's a restricted pick, but it was certainly one of my stronger mons last season. Hands down. Agility and gone. That thing is tough to take down. Literally just one agility, invest it in the attack, and it's a beast. Like, not just Ultra Beast, it's a beast.
Yes.
And then we know what Timmy's like with the Mamoswine and the Venusaur, I believe. And Landon, throughout EBL, has proved that Incineroar has a very, very strong standing in this format.
Yes, it does.
Exactly. In terms of who I think may win, looking at the teams on paper, I'm going to say this every time, it's so close. We have nothing to go on yet. But I think looking at the teams on paper, I think Timmy's may well just edge it. I think looking at all the teams, I think his team is probably second best out of the whole 10. Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put that out there. I think it's probably quite underrated, and I should have said it in my preseason interview answers, not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that too. I'm like, oof, okay.
Exactly, yeah. But so we'll see how Timmy utilises that team, but I think at the moment, looking at those two teams, yeah, definitely that one. Definitely that matchup. I think we've spoke about the New York Metas being probably the strongest team on paper. I think the DC Starmies are the second strongest.
Yeah, definitely. If not, definitely I would say within the top 3.
Yes, 100%. Oh yeah, definitely top 3 at least. Yeah,
definitely top 3 at least. Yeah, because I know Sly is also high up there too with his Pokemon, but it's one of those I think honestly on paper, DC Starmies, Sly Guy, and then Metamaxus.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, those 3, they're the best teams in my opinion.
Yeah. But we're going to go off to the final pair with the Florida Rowlets versus the Snowdonian Frostmoss. Florida Rowlets had Kyogre, Pelipper, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Rotom Freeze, Seismitoad, Gengar, Shiinotic, Blastoise, and Vaporeon. Versus Snowdonian Frostmoss with Lugia, Dragapult, Cinderace, Snorlax, Jolteon, Swampert, Primarina, Mienshao, and Lapras. Now, with Florida Rowlets, as you can tell with Kyogre, Pelipper, it is going to be a rain team. And funny enough, he chose Rotom Freeze, because I think he wanted to get under the Rotom, but he ran out. But it's funny, the only one that's not been drafted is Rotom Fan. Otherwise, we have almost every single Rotom form in this single season by itself.
Yeah.
But it's
definitely.
but it's so cool to see like him using a rain team and stuff like that with different Pokemon designed for it and stuff like that. And then we have Snowdon and Frostmoss over here. Picked up the Lugia after Humberto said goodbye as well. Not necessarily a rain team, but like he's got some pretty thick Pokemon with like the Snorlax, the Lugia, the Primarina, the Lapras. He's got some thick boys, and then we got the speed boys with like the Cinderace, the Jolteon, the Mienshao. It's one of those, I think MetaMax has said it over like in the group chat or something like that. Well, talking about teams and stuff like that. His is either slow and thick or quick and hits hard.
Yeah,
and there's not a between, which I think this is going to be really cool seeing rain versus a mixture of offense and defense here.
Yeah, definitely. I think if Season 3 shows us anything, it's that defensive teams can do quite well if used well.
Yes.
You know, yeah, and the rain teams have appeared before. Pretty sure Crobats, was it Season 1 or 2? I think Season 1. He brought his rain team in, and then Derek also brought his in Season 3. So rain teams have made appearances before and have done pretty good. None of them have quite got to the final, but they have shown themselves. So Mike may be the first coach to be able to take a rain team all the way. We shall see. The inclusion of the Gengar and the Shiinotic and the Rotom Freeze in there gives him some sort of coverage at least.
Yeah, it does.
Certainly that Gengar. The type coverage on that Gengar and the specials on it are fantastic.
And even though Rotom Freeze is probably one of the more frailer ones out of all the Rotoms, it can still learn Thunder. So like even just being Rotom by itself is going to be deadly in the rain team.
Exactly, yeah. But then obviously going over to then the Snowdonian Frostmoths team on there as well. The Lugia, obviously, just Lugia with multi-scale Humberto Lionheart plays has shown that it's terrifying.
Yes, it is.
But exactly. But if you just look at that team, you got Lugia, you got Cinderace, which used to be hot property and like the first pick for EBL. You've got the Snorlax in there, which has never been a disappointment for anyone that's picked it.
No, it's not.
No. You've got Lapras in there, which last season, obviously, Lonely Hermit showed how good that can be.
Yes.
Especially with the curse. And then Mienshao, very underrated in my opinion. Primarina, again, has been shown to be good. I mean, he's got a fantastic team in there, 100%. Yes. Even the Dragapult as a restricted pick. That's going to be very interesting to see how it's used. Very interesting. It's got some good type coverage on a Dragapult. So.
Yes, it does, yeah.
Yeah. In terms of my prediction on that one, again, looking at the teams on paper, as all we can do for now, I am going to give it... Do you know what? I'm going to give it to the Frostmoths, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to them. I think they've got enough in them to overcome a rain team. Lugia can come in. Pretty sure it... Does Lugia learn Thunder? I can't remember.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I want to say most likely. Even then, he's got the Jolteon, which can learn Thunder as well. Like it's one of those. I can see the Frostmoths churning the rain team around on Mike a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. But then also he could use his strength against him because you've got the he could be up against a rain team, but he's also got a Lapras, a Primarina, a Swampert, a Jolteon that can learn Thunder. So there are Pokemon on there which can highly utilize themselves with their rain, as well as Pokemon on there that can counteract it. So I'm going to go for this particular matchup, the Snowdonian Frostmoths.
Okay. And with that, the preseason roundup and predictions will be done here. Like I explained at the beginning of the video, after this video, I will go off on myself with the roundups and the rankings, because then we'll actually have battles to where I can actually rank people, because I'm not going to rank people nobody now. It's one of those. I know we kind of said the top 3 teams a while ago, but we're going to do we're going to do the official rankings whenever everybody battles, and I can see where everybody is and stuff like that. And then I know Pokepidge will also be going with the predictions and stuff like that. He'll be able to have better examples to figure out who is going to be winning and stuff like that. So I know after this preseason roundup with week 1 and everything, I believe it's going to get better and better each time we do this too. But like I said, we are both new at this, so please be patient with us. And is there anything else you want to say, Pidge?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything there.
I think we have covered everything. See you September 2nd, Saturday, for the first battle of EBL Season 6. And with that, we'll see everybody next time.